Hey, this is Robert, and this is going to be a little different from what I usually do here, because I usually do on-camera stuff, and well, this is kind of technically on-camera-ish, but we have rather animated special guest here in the corner. But this is somebody that I've had on my show a few times in the past. You might know them for creating Nori and Zin, so I'm pleased to bring back on Sharpytown. Thank you so much for joining me once again.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, many times. So I guess to really start this off, how has 2025 been treating you? And just list something that you've kind of been sort of partaking in or dabbling into as of late.
As of recently, when it comes to animated projects, I've recently joined a Newgrounds collab, the first collab I've ever joined. It's for the Newgrounds PlayStation collab. I already finished my part, that hopefully it's coming out sometime this year. So I have more animated content in the works. Also working on Nori and Zin. I kind of took a break from working on Nori and Zin for a bit because I had a lot of other projects to work on, like the collab and commissions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I know those kind of take up a lot of time.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, nonetheless, I'm just really happy that you're back on the show because we got just a few things to discuss. It's not going to be like super long, so it's just going to be a nice little fun catch up, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if this was because I know you kind of talked a little bit about this last time, but what would you say was something that kind of really made you decide, oh, maybe I can just create Nori and Zan or just really dip my toes into making cartoons and stuff?
A while ago, before I decided to like dip my toes into animation, Nori and Zin actually used to be a webcomic that I posted on
Oh,
Webtoon.
I think you kind of mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. I did a few episodes of it. It was pretty cute, but I decided to step away from it because I wanted to like try making cartoons instead. Because during the production of the webcomic I was making, I was talking to a couple close friends about it. Like, hey, like what if Nori and Zin had like a soundtrack or they had voice claims and all this other stuff? And they suggested if that were the case, it would be like an animated project. But even before that, I was considering making Norians in a game. But it was just like a quick little idea thing. I don't have any like programming or coding experience to make it into an actual game. So I decided maybe making a cartoon would be easier. Well, making a cartoon isn't necessarily easy, but like uh I'd have to like learn a whole other skill. But since I already had like some experience in drawing anyway, I decided to try animation. And the rest is history. Domino effect.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, as somebody who is just now in the process of making like an indie animated thing myself, it's definitely it is a process. So, like for a lot of people that seem to think, oh, you could just make a cartoon, it just really no, there's a lot of time that goes into it. So much time that goes into making animated productions.
That's what I thought. Oh, it's gonna be easy. I can just like draw a bunch and then I can make a little cartoon. Like, sure, you can do that, but if you want your cartoon to be the best it can be, you have to like put in a little bit of elbow grease into it.
Exactly. I mean, I wouldn't it wouldn't have gone this far with my series if it wasn't for because you have the writing team, there's the artists and the voice actors, so just pretty much everybody is kind of it's a really big collaborative effort. And nobody ever said it's easy.
No. A lot of people do think it's easy, but it really isn't. A lot goes
It's
into
really
it.
not. So yeah, for you personally, how would you say that, the whole production process of making your cartoons is just from conception to just the finished product?
Oh, it's a nightmare. I've been working on this project for a really long time. Even this episode I'm working on right now, It's technically episode one of the official Nori and Zin series, but I do have some. I don't even know if I'm going to number off the episodes because I do have other like little shorts and episodes in the works right now. Like some of them are fully voiced already. Some of them are even fully storyboarded. But I don't know if I'd make them shorts or just make them full on episodes. So I guess it's kind of a free for all when it comes to that. But even making short little things, like even on my YouTube channel, I do have some Nori and Zen shorts up there on the playlist. It does take some time for me to do, mainly because I'm really, really slow. But I do try to put in some kind of effort into them. Even the storyboards, even just the plain storyboards or animatics.
Yeah, like I said, it takes time, everyone. So
It
I,
does take a lot of time, especially if you're doing them on your own.
boy, don't even get me started. But yeah, I guess to jump into the next question, what would you say was something that you say, I say twice, but what would you say was kind of like the biggest thing that you would say that you've accomplished so far as of this year? Just, the last couple of years, because I think we last spoke a few years ago. So what would you say are some of your biggest like accomplishments for over the last year-ish or so? What would you say?
I think my biggest accomplishment, like this far, was like in general, not just this year, was completing the pilot because that was the biggest project I've ever worked on.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that
as of
podcast
this
episode we
year,
did was so fun. Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, I love the old podcasts.
Yeah, that was years ago, but you continue. Sorry.
As of this year, so far, it was the Newgrounds PlayStation collab thing. Not really a Nori and Zen project,
Yeah,
but
I know there's
I
a.
was pretty
Oh,
proud of it.
sorry. It's kind of a lag with Zoom, but you continue.
Um, I do have more projects coming up, not just Nori and Zin, that I hope to finish relatively quickly because they're not that long. But when it comes to Nori and Zin, this is longer than the pilot. I think it's pushing 10 minutes. I hope to have it done sometime this year, depending on how things go, or sometime next year, because I did take a break from it, like a way longer break than I anticipated. That's why there hasn't been much updates on it or Norians in general. But I do plan on getting back into the swing of things after I get a bunch of other work that I need to get done. So Norians isn't dead, I promise. They're still alive and kicking. It's just I need to stop dragging my feet.
I mean, taking the time for yourself is very important after all.
It is. I was really burnt out after I finished the pilot. I was burnt out for like 2 years, believe it or not.
Yeah, when a lot of us say like, "Oh, burnout kind of lasts temporary," no, it can last a long time, man. Like I remember just being like in this fog fatigue for like quite some time before I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna jump right back into whatever I was doing before this happened.
Yeah, the pilot really kicked my ass, man. But I still think it is one of the coolest things I've ever worked on.
Yeah, for sure. I could just see just all the love and everything into every single shot. So it's a pretty well done pilot from what and also just seeing a lot of my friends. Of course, I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, y'all did great." Yeah, totally not jealous or anything, but hey, you did awesome.
Sometimes jealousy could be a good thing. Like it motivates you to work on your own projects and whatnot.
I mean, yeah, in a way, it kind of counts. So
Yeah, I guess
who knows?
inspiration is a better word.
Yeah, inspiration, yeah, for sure. But speaking of that, was there like anything specific that really inspired you? Like any influences into your art or just in life in general of when it comes to making cartoons and all that stuff?
But I do have two really big inspirations, and a lot of people don't are often surprised whenever I tell them because they often think, "Oh, my inspiration is like from this or that." But no. I think my two inspirations for not just Nori and Zin, but like what influenced my art style to begin with were two shows. One was Bee and Puppy Cat, and the second one was Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt.
Those are very different shows
They
to be
are.
inspired by. Yeah. Yeah, because you have one that's like cute and cuddly, and then the other is like NSFW, let's just say that. It's
Yeah.
super raunchy. So, oh, excuse me, I don't know if I can really discuss that on the show. But yeah, it is a show. It's very interesting. Like think of Powerpuff Girls, except it's an adult comedy. And that's pretty much what I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. There's a second season coming out eventually. I'm excited for
Eventually,
that.
when they release it.
Yeah, it has been announced and there has been some footage of it that you can find online, but it
Yeah.
will come out sometime.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll definitely keep our eyes peeled whenever that releases, I guess. Yeah. Because when it comes to, I guess if since we're still on the topic of like indie animation, I guess when it comes to the My Project's Element Shrine, I kind of have a lot of influences on there because you have some Zelda where, your Link can go through the dungeons and trials and stuff, but most of it is kind of pretty much Gravity Falls meets Stranger Things in a way, where you have these two characters that are like into mysteries, and then some weird stuff happens, and they have to figure out how are they gonna get out of this alive. So there's kind of like a lot of like also Squid Game is sort of like an unintentional inspiration, but we definitely try not to make it into like Saw territory, you know what I mean? Yeah, where
That'd be
it's
kind of
like too
awesome though.
dark. I mean, it would, but I like to focus on the character and the story. Man. So, yeah, just getting into like all the violence and whatnot, but it's kind of what I it's kind of the direction I kind of wanted to go with this, like more Gravity Falls, Scooby Doo, Courage, the Cowardly Dog, that type of area. So there you go. The more you know. And I also
Yeah,
talked about it more in previous episodes, so you don't want to hear me ramble about it in
yeah,
this
I
one.
did watch it when you showed it to me. It did give that influence of Gravity Falls and Mysterious Town and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a mysterious town. They're just in camp, and they just kind of spend most of the series inside this building that they don't even know if they're gonna survive or get out of.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and you can just watch the teaser on YouTube, and episodes, like I said, will be coming out later this year. Just have to stick around and see what's gonna happen and play for your life. Yeah. And I think one other thing was Kids Next Door because I always really like these kids just going on, these adventures, and they try to act like they're kind of when they have like an organization, because like for Kids Next Door, it's like you follow these children, and they kind of have like a secret undercover agent like adults. So it's like you have these adults just in just how can I put this? It's like you have adults, these kids that are doing business affairs like adults, just kind of like that ballpark. And then you have like these students that try to act mature, but at the end they're just kind of scared, lost, confused, and just trying to gain courage by going through this traumatic incident. It's just this really unfair, traumatic, just escape game that you don't know if they're gonna live or die. So that's pretty much the amount of spoilers I'm gonna give for it.
So essentially, kids with adult minds, or like how kids see
Sort
themselves.
how they see themselves as like if they were more mature, like adults in a way. Yeah, if that makes sense.
No, no, I understand it. I understand 100%.
Yeah. So for your series Nori and Zin, because I know you've been working on it for quite some time, I don't think I've asked where did the idea come from for, your series and for anything that you make, period.
For the series, like I mentioned before, the huge inspiration for it was Panty and Stalking and Bee and Puppy Cat. So, um, the plot of Nori and Zin is that we have these two best friends and roommates named appropriately named Nori and Zin, and they work at this temp agency where they go and like go on crazy adventures and earn money to survive, similar to being Puppy Cat and Panty and Stalking. Panty and Stalking, they take out these ghosts, these monster-like creatures, and earn heaven coins because they're trying to buy their way back into heaven because they've been kicked out. And with being Puppy Cat, Bee's just trying to sustain herself, making a living. And they both go on like these adventures where they um, go to different worlds, fight monsters, they conquer, they earn a bit of cash, and they just hang out with each other. Nori and Zin is more of a slice of life thing. It does have a story in it. It does have lore, the world that they live in. I do want to explore that more once I make more episodes of it. But the overall tone, premise is just two roommates and their coworkers just trying to get by and go on adventures with each other.
So it kind of invokes kind of that Adventure Time regular show kind of vibe to it, right?
Yeah.
Because when you say two roommates, best friends, my mind just immediately goes to those shows.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
like yeah, it's kind of like that.
yeah, of like 2010s Cartoon Network era.
The thing
uh,
is, Nori and Zin is not for kids.
I mean, regular show is kind of more for an older audience, so I don't really consider it for as a kid show neither. Even though it's on Cartoon Network, I never considered it as like a kids. I think it's more for like teenage young adults. So
Yeah,
it just
that's the vibe I get from it.
yeah. So yeah. So let me know in the comments if you think regular show was always a kid show or not. So
It
so
was
yeah,
a very
releases.
teen show.
Yeah, it's a very, very teen show. I mean, same for Adventure Time, honestly. So, what was something that you loved so much about, art and animation and just, making your own indie shows and just doing a lot of this stuff for cartoons?
I just like seeing the characters move. Like I see a bunch of drawings on the screen, my monkey brain just like claps and laughs at it. Average cartoon enjoyer. And I just thought that would like animation. Making cartoons is a really great way to tell stories. Like without like if you're an artist or you have some characters you want to share with the world, like any visual media, like I vote for animation. I might be a
For
little bit
sure.
biased, yeah.
Yeah. And we definitely gotta give the animation the respect it deserves. I mean, right now we're just kind of in a really bad ride, and I think there's really
Yes.
no better time for indie animation to just really explode and blossom than literally right now.
Yeah. I do
Yeah,
love indie animation a whole lot. I do
yeah,
love studio animation, but
yeah,
I feel
mainstream,
like
yeah,
with indie animation, you don't really get to pull back punches of what you can show because sure, with industry animation, you get the funding and it's easier to make episodes and whatnot and get them out at a quicker pace. But you have to follow the network's rules and the restrictions. Some rules you may or may not agree with. And also, you run the risk of losing the rights and creative input on your own cartoon and characters. That's why I preferred Nori and Zin to be independent, just so I could do what I want, tell the stories I want. But that does come with a risk of lack of funding.
Yeah, and also like protection against AI and people just trying to copy your stuff as their own thing. Yeah, there is a thing as art theft and so many other issues that are rampant.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing to worry about nowadays is AI taking over. I do have a couple thoughts on AI art in general. I think even if AI does get more advanced in the art scene, I don't think it's going to fully replace real artists because I think that makes real art more valuable. It's more appreciated. Because
Absolutely.
you know that one scene in The Incredibles, the first movie, what was the main villain's name again?
I think it was, yeah, Syndrome. Yeah, Syndrome from Incredibles. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he said this quote that was like, once everyone is super, then no one will be.
Uh huh. Yeah, I see what you mean. Were you gonna
Because
continue? Yeah.
um a lot of people like have this cope that, oh, AI makes art more accessible for people. But art has always been accessible. When I started doing art, I just had some pencils and my school notebook, and that's all I had for the longest time. And I learned how to draw just from observation. And I didn't have any lessons starting out. I just drew what I liked and what I saw. So art is always has always been accessible, whether um even for like disabled people. Like some people like say, "Oh, it's AI makes art accessible for disabled people." But even they can make art on their own and they don't need the help of AI. I really do think it's just people who praise AI art don't actually see value in art.
Yep. Nothing can replace the real thing.
Yeah. Anyone
Yeah.
can make art.
Yeah. As long as you don't like plagiarize, that's another thing too.
Yeah. And AI is just full of plagiarism.
Of course. I mean, look, I have my own thoughts on AI, but yeah, it's for the most part, I know it's getting advanced, and that's why we were kind of in a strike against video games and for actors. And yeah, not to get into that whole can of worms, but it definitely was, it was something that happened, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. It is
Mhm.
actually it's really, really sad.
Yeah, and like with animation too, it's like it just really hit it hard, man. Yeah,
Uh,
animation's been really
yeah.
affected by what's everything that's just been going on. Yeah, it's really sad.
Like, do you remember the Studio Ghibli AI art thing that was going around? It
Oh my God.
was
Yeah,
so corny.
yeah.
It was
What?
just disrespectful.
Yeah, and like they were even doing like AI for like James Earl Jones, which I'm just like, no, absolutely not. I don't know. Because apparently I've been told that he gave his approval, but I don't really, I'm not really buying it. But yeah, it's just not really cool to just take somebody who's no longer with us and just clone it. That's just no, no, just no,
Nah, I would
just
not want
no.
someone to clone me and put me
Yeah,
into
for
AI if
sure.
I passed.
Yeah, or just clone us with robots taking over the future. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, but I just kind of wanted to also ask you what's something that's been kind of keeping you positive throughout, not just this year, but just period.
What's been keeping me positive?
Yeah.
I think, um, Just getting stuff done. That's what's been keeping me going. Like finishing my commissions, and once I'm done all that, I'm I have so many ideas for animated stuff I want to work on, and even some of that I've already started. Not just Nori and Zin stuff. Like I have other like ideas for stuff. I have a lot of fan animation ideas. So if people are tired of Nori and Zin, I have some other stuff that I'm working on. I'm also working on a movie collab. Um, does anyone here enjoy the Bee movie? Any Bee
Oh
movie
my
fans?
God. No. Oh, now you got me hooked. Now you got me interested. But oh, B movie of all things. Oh boy. Yeah, tea. You want to share some of the tea with us?
Yeah, I'm working on the Bee movie repollinated collab, which is a reanimated collab of the whole movie. I will share more about that eventually.
In like a follow-up episode in 1 or 2 years.
It doesn't come out till like 2027, but maybe I
Like I
can
said,
like
one, 2 years at best.
at least they're actually giving their animators time to work on stuff, unlike another reanimated collab that wasn't well managed or organized.
I think I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Wahoo!
Yeah.
I
Oh my God.
remember seeing the entries for that. It's so funny.
Yeah. But like what I'm looking forward to the most is how I forget his name, but it's the lawyer in the movie. That's John Goodman's character. I just cannot wait until to see the different takes on just him in general. That's pretty
I
much what I'm
wanted
looking
those
forward to.
scenes, but they got taken so fast. They were like the first ones that were gone.
Gee, I wonder why. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that sounds really dope. And a lot of collabs have just been coming back and forth. Like there's a Super Mario World collab, there's so many SpongeBob Courage, just a lot of different cartoon and video game reanimated collabs. And yeah, there's just a lot that are just being put out there. Like even Looney Tunes with that the Dover Boys reanimated collab. Man, yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of love for these franchises, man. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I was so happy to get into the
Yeah, just you
PlayStation
getting to
one.
do the PlayStation. Yeah. Are you allowed to share more details about, your part or just the project in general as of right now?
What I can share is that it's still being worked on. I don't want to release any information just yet until the project is out, just out of respect of the team. But there is one other collab thing that I can share. It was for the GameCube collab on Newgrounds. That collab is done. I was a part of it, but I had to drop out because I had so much stuff to do. I would not have enough time to finish my part. So I'm still going to do my part because I really like the script that I wrote for it. And I will release it to the public once it's done. And I have a familiar voice voicing the characters in it that some of you may know. What the
Mm.
short is, I can do whatever I want now because I can share it. It's a Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes animation. And it's about, you know, Snake, Liquid Snake, just bickering back and forth based off of some of the scenes close to the end of the game. I'm still animating it. I took a break from it because I had a bunch of other stuff to work on, obviously, but I will release it. I will release it eventually. Other than that, the other thing I'm working on is the B movie thing. I do want to join other collabs because they are kind of fun, just going into and like meeting and working with other people. Something I really missed with working on my project. I just love working with people on cartoons. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of it when it comes out. I guess to close this out, what would you say was the one moment that really reminded you why you just really love cartoons and animation?
And that's hard. I just like seeing everything come together, you know? Like all of this pain, crying, sweat and tears, a lot of liquids getting put into your cartoon. Like when you work on a cartoon, especially for as long as I have, you go through a lot of emotions. Like once you first start off with making your cartoon, you're like really giddy, excited, you're all starry-eyed and whatnot, and you start working on it, and like you get into the groove of like the beginning stages, like the writing, the storyboard, the animatic, the character designs, and whatnot. And then as more time goes on, you're like, okay, I'm starting to get tired of this. Like it's just become tedious now because you're repeating the same stuff, especially when you're animating. You have to make sure everything's perfect, all the audio's synced up, you know, basic production stuff. And as more time goes on, you start to get like really, really frustrated with your work. Like you get self-doubt. Like, am I ever gonna finish this? Is this ever gonna be good? And like, you know, that kind of stuff where you feel down and like unsure about your own work. And then the day finally comes when you do finish your animation. You're like regardless of how you feel about it, like maybe the writing could have been better, maybe the animation could have been better, maybe this or that could have been better. You're just happy that you didn't give up on it, regardless of how good or bad it turned out. Like even if you think it's not that great, especially if it's your first time making a really, really big project and you like see the flaws, see the mistakes in it, that's a good thing. That means that gives you something to improve on. Like, okay, I can do better next time with the writing. I can do better next time with the animation. I can do better next time with the art. I can do better next time, like, you know. So don't give up on your projects because seeing it all come together, regardless of the end result, you know how hard you worked on it. And just seeing it there, you can point it out, turn to people and say, hey, I made that. And I challenge you to do the same thing because it is not an easy thing to do. Because I know a lot of people like to be cynical when it comes to this kind of stuff. Oh, um, this cartoon is the worst thing ever. This because the writing is so bad, the animation's so bad. Maybe I'm just like rambling about stuff, but I feel like people shouldn't be too cynical about cartoons. Like I used to be really cynical about cartoons when I was younger, but then I made cartoons and realized, okay, this is actually kind of hard, you know? So that's why I think there's no such thing as a bad cartoon. All cartoons are great, whether they're good, bad, funny, bad, you know. So if you want to make cartoons, go make cartoons. Make something that you would want to watch. Make something that'll make you happy. That's just my hot take. There's no such thing as a bad cartoon.
Honestly, kind of a good note to end it out on. As like any closing advice and stuff, which you kind of hit it pretty well on the head. I guess one last thing is social media projects, just self promo time. Just pump out your stuff if you can.
Oh, Sharpytown, all socials, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok, the whole nine yards, Newgrounds, pretty much the same on all platforms. You can support my projects on patreon.com/Sharpytown. If you want to see some behind the scenes work of all the projects that I've been yapping about, and you get to support them. That helps them come out faster.
Yep, I think that just about does it. Do you have any last words or anything to close out on?
There's no such thing as a bad cartoon. There's no such thing as bad art, except if you're using AI.
Bingo. So I guess on that note, thank you so much. Thank you, Sharpie, for returning once again, and best of luck to you. And God bless each and every one of y'all. I, or no, wait, it's God loves you so much. He made you special, and He loves you very much. Yes, I'm stealing from VeggieTales. Don't sue me. Until
I
next
used to love
time.
VeggieTales.
Oh my gosh, yeah, my favorite. Until next time. I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Bye bye. I
Bye.
am not a crook. Take care.